400 years in this country. You have been the number 2 population for 400 years. You're gonna get kicked out of being number 2, you're gonna go down and become number 4. Now, common sense, even a 3rd grade education would tell you, if you didn't get anything when you were number 2, you all jumped ahead of me, but anyway, you can guess what you're gonna get when you become number 4.
President Biden, do you support reparations?
Well, I mean, since I haven't spoken on this, got a chance. Number one, the reason we're the country we are is because of immigration. We've been able to cherry pick the best from every single continent. The people who come here have determination, resilience. They are ready to stand up and work like the devil. We have 24 out of every 100 children in our school today is Hispanic. The idea that we are going to walk away and not provide every opportunity for them is not only stupid and immoral, but it's bad for America. They are the future of America.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest. Which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. And this is what we are faced with. And this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington, in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
We are owed $104 trillion on the very low end, plus $735 billion recurring. This number does not include the cost of about 50 Black Wall Streets that were decimated, nor compound interest from 2017 when Sean D. Rochester's book, The Black Tax, was published, nor the cost of Black life, nor the cost of living increases, nor the war on drugs, nor the current day pandemic. The number I'm working with is for slavery, Jim Crow, and accrued ongoing systemic racism, oppression, and disadvantage in the country our ancestors built with their lives.
Good evening on the West Coast. Good evening in the mountains. Good evening in the central. Good evening on the East Coast. Like who it is, Beverly. Angela Nirvana, your host, is the most on the reparationist perspective, bringing you those Negro frequent hot topics and making the case for reparations, making the case for weaponizing our vote, socializing our suffering. Family, it's been a long time. I see you, Lone Wolf. I see you, Truth Unbelievable. I see you, Root Trackers by Yaira. I see you, Miss Powell. I see you, Caitlin. I see y'all, family. And for those of you who I can't see because you're tuning in from Facebook or X, welcome to the live. It's been a long time, family. I know I had to get a regular, stable position that prevents me from coming on live as often as I once did during the pandemic. Okay, so Sister Girl has to be, as we've always had to be, family, responsible for my own reparations for my daughter. Okay, I wasn't sure if y'all was gonna turn up and turn the mother out with my Freedmen protest voter strategy, but you most certainly did. I don't want you allowing anybody to lie to you that somehow some other group is responsible. You see, the Latinos, by and large, always split their vote down the middle. I think this time around, they were 55% for the Demon Rats and 45% or somewhere along those lines for Trump. This is not new for them. This is new to us. They know how to weaponize their vote. They know how to weaponize their vote for tangibles. They're not the demon rats, loyal lapdogs at the genocide of their own people. They have managed to outnumber us out here in the state of California. We are down from 17 to 3%. Okay, there's about 2 million of us. They are about over half of the state of California. And those of you that know me and know my fight, my square has always been tangibles, but I knew the only way to get to the tangibles was through a protest voter strategy for deportation and closed borders until they unask our cash, the next trifecta, if they're fortunate enough to ever get one, that we grant them, you see. So they didn't believe the fat meat was greasy till they saw it frying. And now everybody's wailing and crying and gnashing their teeth because they never dreamed that 20% of those of us who left the couch to go to the polls actually have upset an entire election. They are now, the networks included, the mainstream media, that by and large were very biased in their reporting. They did everything they could to take Trump out. They put 90 charges on that man. I think they convicted him on 34 for using campaign funds on some poo. Now, we know these demon rats are staging a whole entire genocide right now. I'm going to try to be careful with my words because it's the first time I'm back on ScrewTube in about 18 months, maybe 2 years. I can't even recall. It's been a minute because reporting on our impending genocide was just too much. It was too much. It was affecting me and impacting my health. So I had to take a break, but I never stepped away from the fight. I've been slinging mud, weaponizing social media, which is where the revolution has been televised. It's been social mediaized. I've been laying them down for filth, sharing other content creators' videos of what's been happening as I put my spin on it in the TRP fashion that I do. And so my message, thanks to you guys, because I've been shadow banned everywhere. Thanks to you for helping to make my messaging go viral. It went so viral that I enlisted comrades throughout the country. Shout out to Chicago Red, Mark Carter, Jessica Jackson. What's my baby's name? Mr. Blake Moore, Carter Truss. I got so many people. April, Watson speaking, Harriet. Oh, it was a whole slew of us laying it out on a regular, I mean like a second job. We have been pushing the Freedmen protest voter strategy until times get better for Black American Negro freedmen, descendant of the Emancipated. So I commend you because I wasn't sure if it was reaching because of all the lies I had to sift through in the mainstream media, MSDNC. I know y'all know them, okay? CBS, ABC, CNN, the Clinton News Network, Crying Negro Network. It's been a whole lot to get through to this victory that we're sharing in today. So I just want to come to you live and informally because I told the people, if Kamala got into office, I was done with parlay tricks. I was throwing my towel in the ring and moving on with and live my best life because y'all know this is a stressful fight, but y'all showed up and showed out. Or you voted third party. Thank you. Now, when it comes to the couch, when our vote has delivered 282 million immigrants with 50 million DACA and illegals on deck for citizenship, I don't think we can afford to sit any election out. Okay? The fact that we definitively showed up, 20% of us anyway, shout out to Georgia, I think it was 25% of the black men in Georgia voted Trump. I hear there was 20% of black men out of Wisconsin. Great for you. And I'm grateful to you. Shout out to the black women. I want to say roughly 8% of us nationwide showed up to vote for Trump and to vote to continue the line. Because that's what this election was all about, family. A vote for Kamala would have meant our end. And folks thought I was fear-mongering. Can't nobody, number one, fear-monger tougher than the demon rats. Let's just keep it a buck. I mean, my God. When they couldn't bury him under the jail, they came for him, allegedly. I'm not sure who set him up for 2 to 3 assassination attempts, but they were there. And so you guys, I thank you for understanding that we've got to get up off this sofa and get to the polls, because if we allow for the demon rats to continue to use us, it will be to our impending peril. That is what this was about. This was a war between our very survival and not being here anymore. So when you've delivered 282 million of them, 50 million on deck, and 45 million of you, when they running on abortion that you've already got the right to do, just because it's not federal, doesn't mean the states don't allow you to abort your babies. Not that we need to abort any more babies while illegals birth citizens. We've given about 100 million back to God since Sanger. It was intended for us. 40% of our people are doing it, and the majority of us doing it are doing so as a form of birth control, instead of being sexually responsible, using condoms, getting on the pill. There's a myriad of things that you can do besides murdering Black life. Because when you murder Black life, you murder our future. You don't know. That could be the first Negro freedman president or VP, someone very, very important and special. You don't know. So I'd rather us teach for sexual responsibility than to be on the demon rat train to murder our babies while opening the borders for the illegals to birth citizens while running on abortion that you already got the right to do. And this is when you know that there's a bunch of niggerants going on in the Black community. There's a small section of us that have been fighting since Obama to turn the Titanic around. And while I'm grateful to the 20% of us, we got a whole 80%, at least 30 additional percent that we've got to work to sway, to split that vote down the middle so that we can make the proper demands of whoever wants to vet for our vote. It's got to be in exchange for tangibles. This time, the tangible was deportation and closed borders. Because ain't no way you're going to get anything from the demon rats when their intent is to neutralize your vote as they've neutralized you economically. And my question to y'all, not those that are informed and educated up in here, and I'll get to your comments momentarily, and I will be reading from them after I do my little commentary here. The bottom line is, it is their intent to neutralize our vote the way they've neutralized us economically. And my question to y'all is, where are you going? And with what? How are you going to leave this country that everyone's clamoring to get into? Right now, there's millions trying to cross the border before Trump take office. And these lying demon rats are sitting up here acting as if they got a handle on the border in the last couple of months leading up to the election, when all they've done is found another way to fly them in here. That's why you don't see as many at the border. They're putting them on flights with our reparations, our taxes, our Social Security. They ain't paid into this system. While we suffer the highest rates of homelessness, unemployment, and underemployment. And that's why I've been sounding the alarm and taking the hits. Lots of body blows from friends and family alike. Okay? Because they're hotter than fish grease, that we've awakened, and they'll still nigger into the fact that every time they go and push the blue button, they're pushing it to ethnocide and genocide their own people. And that's why these immigrants are quiet today, because they saw the strength of a unified Negro Freedmen Front. We locked arms from all over the country, and we leaned in. We weaponized the only commodity we got left, the vote and social media. And like I said prior, hi, baby. Like I said, I'm going to read your comments in a minute. I see y'all. Thank you for joining the live. Like I said, we ain't got time to tarry. We don't have the numbers. We are outmanned, outmoneyed, and outgunned. Okay? That's not even our nature. So we've got to weaponize the only commodity we've got left. Thank God Trump made it through, because that means we've got that vote. Because if we had used our vote the way the demon rats pressured us to, okay, it would have been to our peril. That would have been it, and that would have been all. They were allowing illegals to vote in that election. They have been allowing illegals to get away with rape, murder, robbing. All of these men are things that our men are still on lockdown for, many of which are locked down on non-violent offenses. You know, like the ones Kamala, when she was a prosecutor out here, AG, one of them things she was, one of them positions she held out here. When the governor said the jails are too full, you need to let the non-violent offenders free, she said no, because, and I'm paraphrasing, I need them for the slave labor to put out the fires in the white hills, where the white folks live, where the rich and the privileged live. She needed black bodies to put out those fires. And yet again, we tried to get rid of slavery under the penal code out here. And what did these demon rats do? Shut it down. We tried to get the land back, like the Bruce speech. We attempted in some of the reparations proposals, we tried to get 2 through. We tried to get an Office of Freedmen Affairs through. I don't think that's the name they call it. I can't recall. And they were trying to get through to return the land that was stolen by eminent domain from black folks out here. Newsom got in bed with the California Legislative Black Caucus, which, oh, by the way, got immigrants on there and other minorities on there. And this is the problem. When you press the blue button, you are literally putting in Crayola wanton white supremacist to actually defeat you when it's time for you to get the reparations you were owed. And if anybody's been rolling, I know many of you have been rolling with me since our 2-year fight for reparations out here. That was my square, because reparations and mass immigration are diametrically opposed. That's why I was not for Jill Stein. That's why I was not for Cornel West. They were totally okay with abortion and open borders. Look it up. I'm not doing that kind of show tonight. But I'm here to tell you, I was laser focused on policy. And so when you continue, not you guys, but our collective at large, when they continue to vote for Democrats, they're voting to be replaced in politics and in the public and private sector of with Crayola wanton white supremacists who will stand in your way. Newsom and the California Black Legislative Caucus got in bed together and would not even bring our bills to the floor for a vote. I had called out the grift long ago. That's why I was done. Y'all remember when, what's his name? I can see his face. Amos Brown, okay? He wrote a hit piece of a letter. Y'all done heard my little snippet from my testimony, where he literally was altering reparations that was being suggested, cash, lineage-based cash repair in the millions with free housing or at least $1 per home for the San Franciscans. He wrote a hit piece of a letter in the final stretch offering remedial education, more just over broke jobs in public housing in lieu of lineage-based cash repair and dollar homes to the handful of San Franciscans who are still Negro freedmen, many of whom have lost everything behind immigration. So I'm not just opposed to illegal immigration. I'm opposed to mass immigration. Because all the way back to the late, great Barbara Jordan, Martin Luther King Jr., Coretta Scott King, they were telling us that immigration, Dr. Claude Anderson, too many to name right now, they've been sounding the alarm since civil rights, since we fought and won for the right for these immigrants to be in this country, the POC ones to be in this country, that this was not beneficial to us as Negro freedmen. Why was that, family? Because after Sherman Order number 15 gave us 40 acres and a mule to stand up on our own two big spiritual feet post-slavery, after that happened, they assassinated the Republican Abe Lincoln, installed the demon rat Andrew Johnson, or it may not have gone exactly like that. I think it did. He was a demon rat. He got in position to rescind the 40 acres and a mule. And we have been told to pull ourselves up by our bootless straps ever since. While these illegals and the immigrants who act as if they came over and pulled themselves up by their bootless straps are getting all the reparations we are owed. I think the last count was $150 billion on illegal immigration alone. We're not talking about the trillions they've spent on these proxy wars, all the while telling us they ain't got it. Well, they did that same thing out here in California, because we all know that as California goes, so goes the nation, right? That includes our erasure and replacement. And I beg the question yet again, where are y'all going and with what? For those of you who are hotter than fish grease and quiet as church mice pissing on cotton today, that's my question to you. Where are you going and with what? What about the future of your children for those who decide to get us caught up in the rapture of a lesser two evil voting for 70 years, then decide in the most critical election known to the free world to vote the couch and leave your children's future to chance because you don't like what Trump tweet? Y'all are way too emotional. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But that goes for my friends and family alike. Y'all don't know, and I'm sure you do. Many of you know, because you've been through the same kind of wars with your own family, ostracizing you and treating you like you're the Klan because you are voting policy, not your emotions. Not for cosplay as Kamala. You are too educated to equate ski-wee and Howard University with blackness. And they're still disrespecting the intelligence of Black American Negro freedmen, descendant of the emancipated women, by continuing to pass her off as Black. When she, out of her own mouth, when very few people were watching her on Club Shay Shay, said she ain't Black. She didn't do it on a national platform. She did it close to the election when nobody was really watching. Okay? And a lot of our people niggardly wanted to vote for her because she is Black. They wanted to niggardly vote for her as if Obama did us something. As if the Negro freedmen didn't lose over half its wealth during the housing crisis, of which Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae were complicit. In the collapse of the real estate market. They were in bed with Wall Street and the banks to prey on the Black American Negro freedmen' desire to leave a modicum of wealth to their offspring called a house, which was the only wealth many of us had to bequeath our children. Now out here in California, the home median price out here on my block is $1 million. And folks calling every day to buy my condo. Like, where am I going? And with what? I couldn't even afford to rent out here. And that's what's happened to us. And so shout out to you again for saving the lineage, for saving the South, where lots of us are fleeing to. That's why you see places like Texas in a fight because the liberals left here and went to Texas. Places that should have been definitively red, no exceptions. I think it eventually turned red. I'm not sure. I'm not in front of the stats. But once, and they're already encroaching on the South. Once again, shout out to Georgia. Y'all got it right. As quickly as y'all turned that itch blue, you turned it red because you listened. Unlike Chicago and New York when I was sounding the alarm. Because who am I, right? I'm living what I'm trying to prevent y'all from growing through. And that's what I get tired of our people. We always got to be Johnny come lately. We got to touch the fire to realize we're on fire. Why? Why can't we just trust the comrade from the mud, someone in the grass? Y'all know, y'all don't do that. I'm talking about folks that know me and know what this fight is about. They know what this fight is about. They know I'm fighting, but they want to fight me because Trump don't have no manners. They can't tell me not one thing he did against us. I made a list of about 10 things I like about Trump. I like that he's America first. I like that he flew my friends and my comrades down to Mar-a-Lago and had them at the table to listen to them, something the demon rats have never done. They turned to Van Jones and Roly-Poly and who else? Steve Harvey, who sits up on his show and says it's going to be softball. I'm telling you from the gate, we ain't pressing her. She's black and that's that. When she ain't black, and your family can't eat color. Your family can't eat lineage. Okay? They'll bring out those kind of people. But Trump brought our people to the table. I like that when he was in office, there were no wars. He didn't start no wars. I like that he didn't open the borders and dump 25 million illegals into black communities and say, deal with it. While driving our resources into the ground and then turning to the feds to bail them out. Hello, Brandon Johnson. Want to put a $300 million tax on black folks that are remaining in Chicago to take care of who? The illegals. While our people suffer. Trump didn't do that. I liked that unemployment was 5% for black folks out here in California. We've lost count. We've had to leave because we can't get employment. Because the new way they discriminate against us, the not so new way, is to require that you speak Spanish. And even when you speak it as fluently as Pedro, you don't have the complexion for the protection for hire. When Trump was in charge, he had control over the borders. ICE was deporting, not processing these people at the border in the name of asylum seekers. You want to know why the Repugnant clans didn't sign off on that bill? Because that bill still allowed millions to pour over into our country. So maybe it wasn't 2 million, but it was 1 million a month. But this is what Kamala wants to wail and gnash her teeth about while calling the man Hitler, putting a target on his back. There were other things I liked about Trump. I like that he passed a bill to free so many black folks, nonviolent offenders from jail. I don't know if y'all know about Angela Stanton King, but you need to look up her story and how she got involved and how she started running for office. You know, I don't know if y'all watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, you know, and all this kind of stuff, but she was set up, allegedly, by Phaedra and Apollo. You got to hear her story. Had a baby in jail, handcuffed to a bed. took her baby immediately, had 3 other kids. And now she's that sister all over X fighting for pro-life. She's got a spot called Angie's House down in Georgia. Y'all should look her up. Patronize that sister. Help her out. She's taking care of women who want to keep their babies and helping them to get over the threshold so they can keep their babies instead of aborting. Powerful story. She came into contact with Trump. He was the one to help free her from prison. It's a powerful story. But he did that for a lot of us. Quite a few of us. So I like that he's relatable in that way. I think he's funny. I like that he trolled Kamala with the McDonald's and dance party with Beyonce. I like that he poked fun at that kind of stuff. He weaponized everything this time around to be very relatable. And I do believe those assassination attempts brought him closer to God. He understands the assignment and the mission now. And I'm here to tell you, it's time for us to capitalize. If we ever stand a chance of getting it, it would be from him. And if it's not reparations, let it be some semblance of that before he leaves office. It's time to lean in. Now, many folks want to sit up here and take issue with the fact that Kamala is a woman and a black woman, which she's not. For the record, she's Hindu, Indian descendant. She's Hindu, Irish, descendant of slave owners by her own daddy's admission. Ain't nothing black about her. Her daddy was born in Jamaica because they owned 1,000 slaves. Y'all need to look up Candace Owens. She got all the receipts. Look up all of her stuff. She can give you she runs it down. She exposed her. Shout out to Candace Owens, whom I otherwise don't really care for, but for that, I'm very grateful. I got tired of fighting folks about her lineage. I got tired of fighting our people being honorary. They gonna run out here and vote because she's black. But for the record, she's Hindu, Irish, descendant of slave owners. The way they ended up in Jamaica is the way folks end up here. Except most folks nobody owns slaves. But her daddy's side of the family, on the matriarch side, owned slaves. And they had to come to Jamaica to manage them. That's how he was born in Jamaican. Okay? So she is more white than she is black. But anyway, I lost my train of thought. I talk too much. I never shut up. I wanted to go over, thank you, God. While they're sitting up here saying that she lost because we're misogynist and we're racist, like folks don't even know how to define racist, okay? We don't have the money or the power to oppress nobody. That's what a racist is. For those of you who like to call me that on a regular basis. But anywho, she wants to make it about everything under the sun. And I want to break down for you why she lost. Now, this goes back to when she first threw her hat in the ring in 2019. Around that time, Yvette Carnell had really exposed. Her channel really exposed what was going on with Kamala. Okay. And she taught us about how this, she brought on Mr. Richards, Mitrice Richards' dad. Mitrice Richards was a beautiful graduate with her master's degree. I want to say she was in Malibu celebrating her accomplishment. And she was by herself having dinner at some high-end restaurant. And she had some type of bipolar episode. Some kind of way the grandmother got involved. And the grandmother offered to pay the bill. There was some confusion over the bill. She had this episode. And The grandmother offered to pay, but instead of allowing her to pay, the restaurant called the cops and they took her to jail. Well, when they contacted the mother asked them, it's on recording, to please hold her there because it was too dark for the mother to make her way from Compton all the way to the Malibu Hills. There's very little lighting in some of the hills. Wasn't the Palisades. I'm almost sure it was Malibu. You can look up the story. It's been a minute. Forgive me if I fudge the details a little bit. But the bottom line is they promised to keep that young woman in jail until the mother could come for her in the daylight. Around 2 a.m., they set that sister loose from the prison without her cell phone, without her shoes. It took them weeks to find her remains. And the father wanted the police indicted. And Kamala, who was running for the Senate seat, decided to weaponize this man's pain to win the Senate seat because everybody was cool on Kamala. They didn't like this woman. She was not allowing nonviolent offenders free from the prisons because she needed them to freely put out for slave labor, the white fires in the White Hills. She was coming after moms whose children were too sick to attend school regularly and locking them up for truancy and laughing about it. They didn't like her. But when they thought she was going to bring justice for this family, what did they do? They ran out and voted for her. And once she secured the Senate seat, she told Mr. Richards there was nothing to indict. This is the Kamala that 90% of Black women went out here to vote for. This is the Kamala that far too many Black men and women decide to sit this election out. This is the Kamala who was fourth in her own presidential race and had to drop out. This is the Kamala that was selected, not elected, never won a primary vote. And yet, our people, the majority of the ones that showed up to the polls, thought it a novel idea to elect her and want to jump down my throat and nail me to a cross for my protest voter strategy that was actually effective. Thanks to you all. I couldn't have done it without you. So there's that. Then this cosplay of Blackness. Because once again, they're preying off the niggerants and the politically uneducated in our specific group, akin to Obama. He got that off, and he ain't us. A lot of these folks that's running this country ain't us. They look like us, but that's why we've been fighting for delineation. We've been fighting for delineation because flat Black is to our genocide. They are all complicit in wanting to replace and erase us. Here we are, our ancestors having shed blood to get this racist country after they fled the zone with Europeans that they let out of their jails and then gave them the Homestead Act that they continue to give in the form of, what is it called now? Student loan debt erasure. They're the ones with the majority of the student loan debt. Our lineage don't have the levels of education as the Crayola wanted white supremacist immigrants do. Okay? They don't. Those are the Black jobs that Trump spoke about. That, oh, by the way, the Demon Rats referenced it as Black jobs some time ago, but all of a sudden when Trump says it, mass hysteria breaks out. What do you mean Black jobs? Fake outrage. But anywho, I don't like the fact that you know you're not us. You know we got videos and all manner of things showing you cooking Indian dishes with Mindy Kaling, whose brother, oh, by the way, marked Black American on his college app to get all kinds of freebies to get his degree. We see you all up in the kitchen cooking up Indian food, and yet you are praying on the majority of us that don't read, don't study politics, and trying to get this off and pass yourself off as black. And yeah, you were trying to do it because you didn't deny it. So you're guilty by omission. Okay? And where's your father? Yeah, he is cool on you because he felt disgraced for you to be sitting up on Charlemagne the Devil's channel talking about how you used to get high to try to be relatable and cosplay blackness. As if that's all we do. It's disrespectful. And it's an insult to the Black American Negro freedman woman who is hella smart. If we weren't, we wouldn't be 45 million deep up in here. Probably more than that. They lying about our numbers. That's much I do know. Anywho, so that was number 2. Number 3, and why she failed epically, is because of open borders. You see, a lot of white folks went out and voted for her. Because why? These illegals aren't being dumped in their communities. Because why? Most of these women are Sanger women. Most of these women are crooked killery women that don't mind us murdering our black children. Don't you understand? If they ethnocide and genocide us, that erases the debt they owe, which is around 6.2 quadrillion and counting. Don't you get the connection and the correlation? We'll just flat black them and move in a bunch of these Kamala types who weaponize our never-ending Holocaust for their come-up. That's what all the melanated immigrants are doing, to climb right over top of us. And when you look up, you're none the wiser. Why? Because they got our skin tone. And that's why you've seen me and my comrades, fighting the OMB, fighting for delineation. Because we overstand the flat black is to our genocide. I've run you the stats of how African blacks were 333% more liquid than us out here in the state of California 20 years ago. I didn't run it down. That's what they're doing. And she is complicit, as is Obama, as is Michelle, as is Oprah. Let's break them, make them bottom caste in the country of their ancestors, not give them the repair that's too long overdue, and economically genocide them. It's cleaner. Let's drop guns in their communities. Let's make them so poor that they turn on one another and eat their young. Let's build the preschool to prison pipelines to incarcerate them while giving ESL to the Latinas and all these other immigrant groups you're pouring into the country. Let's give those groups their reparations. Let's make them whole with their taxes and their Social Security. Deny the black men jobs. Push the LGBTQ agenda. Make it okay for them to transition their sex without permission from their parents. And if their parents get in the way of them in their sex change operations, let's take them from their families. Let's make it a crime and allow these kids to call and tell on their parents when they scream above a whisper at them to get them in line, when they spank them, not abuse. A switch ain't never hurt me. Let's take away their right to manage their children. Let their children act up out here in these streets so that we can Laquan McDonald or George Floyd their children. Let's not end qualified immunity. Let's lie to the Black American Negro freedmen and run on the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act to end qualified immunity. And when they deliver us the White House, let's go over here and tell the civil rights leaders that, oh, you better learn how to get along with Latinas. They're going to be the largest demographic with your vote. Oh, we're not going to end qualified immunity. Let's kick the can and give that to the Congress. Which, oh, by the way, they had a trifecta the first 2 years, the same way we gave Obama, and did nothing with it. And blamed it on who? The Republicans got in the way of getting it done. Oh, let's promise them a study for reparations. We can grift off of this till times get better for us, not them. Let's charge $20 million and keep the bank open. Let's keep it running while we study it into perpetuity and keep these Negroes sheep walking to the polls, to their own genocide with mass and illegal immigration. Let's cripple the black man. Let's put the black man in a dress and Kelly Rowland in a suit and got Beyonce coming out here like they a couple. And when they're done selling you on lesbianism, which can't produce babies, when they're done selling you on men in dresses and doing each other, which can't produce babies, they go back home to their husband and their children. While Michelle Obama tells you to sneak behind your dude's back, sneak behind your husband's back, right? You're supposed to sneak behind your husband's back and vote for demon rats so that you can have freedom over your body to murder your baby. Your baby gets the death penalty for your lack of responsibility with your sex, while leaving the borders wide open for illegals to birth who? Citizens. So, that's a myriad of reasons why she lost, you see. Because I've been up on all the news. And I've been posting, y'all been posting. Shout out to TD Hip Hop Media. Shout out to African Diaspora News Channel. Shout out to 10 Black TV. Shout out to the Black Conservative. Depressed Ginger, Heartlands Media, Sabby Sabs. These are the people I've been pushing so that y'all can be informed, because I had to take a time out. Another thing why she lost was all that fear mongering. What slays me about that is you're trying to act like you are the president for change when you're currently in office and not doing any of the things that you steal from Trump that you purport to do once you get elected. You are a total dingbat and an embarrassment to the world. Thank God we didn't get attacked in those moments when you took the stage, finally coming out of hiding. I don't like the lack of integrity with the lamestream media, the fake news media, always wanting to fact check Trump while not fact checking her. They were all in bed and complicit. I don't like that she took $1 billion corporate dollars to pay for all the folks that are on the Diddy list to come out and push these concerts that were disrespectful, all this twerking and carrying on. It was diabolical. It was total degeneracy to try to get our young people to the polls. I don't like that you went to a HBCU, because this was in the plan all along, just like Obama was in the plan all along. These demon rats got plans hundreds of years long to undermine and to murder us, to genocide us. Okay? They go hard in the paint. They've been going hard in the paint, and they somewhere now trying to figure it out. because we have disrupted them, and that's why they want censorship. That's why I'm blackballed, shadow banned on all platforms but Elon's. Let me make that an exception. X, let me say it like I see it. Okay, thank you, Elon, for fighting for our first A, because they want to repeal our first and second A. That's what the demon rats want to do. Everything they want to charge Trump with, they're the ones that, they're it. They are everything they try and displace on Trump. They are the fascists. They are the Hitlers. Funding proxy wars, genociding all over the world, including in this country. They're using immigration to genocide us. Yes, they are. And so, yeah, all of this propaganda, all this fear-mongering, putting a target on his back, as if, yet again, he didn't just serve 4 years. He didn't put us back in chains like they fear-mongered before. And folks are running around acting like we about to go back to a plantation. If he wanted to do us something, why did he do it his first term in office? Let me look at my notes real quick, make sure I'm not leaving out none of my points. Okay, I think I covered her. So I wanted to go over that because the lamestream media is trying to act like this is about the Gaza wars. In part, and they want to give Latinos, who by and large split their vote every election cycle, the credit for what we did. They don't get that credit. We're the swing. And you can trust and believe our 20% hurt them. Between those that stayed home, the 20%, and the third-party votes, we crushed the demon rats. So round of applause. Even though I don't agree with voting the couch. No, I don't. You could have come out there and voted third party. To me, that's politically lazy. Your whole lineage is depending on you to get up off the sofa. When the demon rats have thrown nuclear missiles at you for 75 years, you don't vote the couch. You return the missile. Or you're going to lose your missile. You were close, this close to losing your missile. It was a tight race, but he did ultimately whoop that ass. But that's thanks to us. Which leads me to my next point before I get to the comments. Now that we've got Trump in office, we got work to do. We need our own caucus, a Negro Freedmen caucus, because the Congressional Black caucuses, all those roles are taken by melanated immigrants. We need our own. We need our own party. We need our own candidates in every branch of government. And so, if you want to get involved, please Gmail me at thereperspect@gmail.com. Thereperspect@gmail.com. If someone could write that in the chat, I could keep flowing. We ain't got time to tarry. And what we ain't gonna do is trade one Titanic for another. We delivered them this time around because of deportation and closed borders, which I believe is required to get anything tangible. Because we got to take over. Okay, Michael, I'm not against third party, but I am. And I'll explain in a minute. Well, let me explain it now since I saw the question. I'm not against third parties. What I'm trying to tell you is reparations, open borders, and abortion are diametrically opposed. They are using our reparations to take care of illegals. So when Jill Stein and Cornel West tell you they are for reparations, and yet you see they don't mind open borders, or they don't mind mass immigration, and they don't mind abortion, they not for that reparations life. So critically think before you cast a vote. Now I'm real clear about why I voted for Trump. He's anti-establishment. He's anti-war. He's pro-life. He's pro-deportation and closed borders. He's pro-black jobs. I'm real clear about what I voted for. All I'm saying is be clear about what you're voting for. He ain't never promised reparations, but neither has the demon rats. But now we've got political leverage. As one of my generals told me, we've got to leverage the fact that we delivered Trump the White House in a way like never before. Okay, let me see here. Is that it? Nationwide, I want to stress, we need more leverage behind weaponizing our vote. Yes, I see you, Lizzo. Oh, it's so good to see y'all. I missed y'all so much. I see a bunch of familiar names in the thread. I'm coming over. But yes, we need to get more people educated, which is why more than likely I'll be back, because I did say if y'all let Kamala win, I was done. And I've gotten so much love in all of the social media spaces, begging for my voice to come back into the space. And yeah, so I'm going to more than likely be doing this on the weekend, okay? Because it's very difficult during the week. We got football season. I do wheelchair assist at the stadiums out here. And so I need to, probably do it on a Saturday, because Sundays during football season, I'm very busy. So more than likely it'll be on Saturdays. And yeah. You guys will start to see it. Make sure you turn on your notifications. But I thank all of you for loving my voice, loving what I've got to contribute and offer to the space, and missing me as much as I missed you. I truly have missed you. Many of you I've kept in touch with either via email, text, or the DMs, or X, TikTok is shadow banning me. Real bad. I will probably end up like Marcel. They'll probably take my channel. Shout out to Marcel. What a voice. He helped to make the reparations demand go global. So although he didn't beat the Kuhn Clyburn, the bottom line is he was very impactful. I managed to see him in quite a few spaces, and he was doing us a whole lot of justice. So shout out to him. If you don't know, he sent an email that he can't cancel PayPal recurring payments to his campaign, that you'll have to cancel those on your own. Okay. Please share the live stream. Yes. Thank you, guys. As usual, ScrewTube is shadow banning me. That's why you don't see many people over here, child. Plus, I waited till the last minute. I'm going to show this. Please like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notifications, because your girl is back. I mean, I gotta be, because I see that my protest voter strategy worked to enlist comrades throughout the country to amplify my voice, my strategy. And yeah, that I feel like going on, y'all. Like, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, let's go to the comments. I'll be able to share a little bit more. I'm a little rusty on sharing screens and all that. I don't want to tarry. I want to get y'all out of here because I got to get some work done. Okay. Hello from Virginia, Lone Wolf. Truth Unbelievable. I missed you. I missed you too, beloved. Root Trackers. Great Grand Moon rep and chat. Let's see. I see you. Catalan, Angela, I see you, Ahsun. Truth Unbelievable. I love your intro. I'm keeping that intro. It's fire. That's compliments of you, Moya, ETM Media. If you need a fire intro and outro, that's your guy. Angela, we have Definitely missed you. I miss you. Welcome to the live. Yes, baby. Welcome. Okay, miss you and miss being here. Oh, yes, I do too. On Saturdays, more than likely, family. I'll get it together over here. We did it, y'all. Yes, we celebrating. Both of our states were blue, but we still won. Yes, we still won. Well, I made my ticket bleed, okay? I was on a mission day one, and that's what y'all got to do. Get to the polls early. What happened to my show? Okay. Get to the polls early. I got there on day one. The polls opened out here. I didn't have no lines. Praise the Lord. It was wonderful to go in there as an independent. That's another thing I want to stress. As God gives me stuff, I'm going to give it to y'all. Independent. Dump the Dems. All of you that was couching or third partying or voting for Trump, go independent. They have not earned the right for you to be Demon Rat nor Repugnant Clan, okay? We just putting our big baby toe in it for now, seeing what it do, okay? Let's see here. You're right. Let's see here. I'm just going to go to the pertinent ones. Georgia showed up, especially with all the Demon Rat trickery they had out there. Yes. Speaking of which, the HBCUs are doing a real number on our beautiful Black minds out there. It is a horror show how much they're pressuring them to vote Demon Rat. Anybody out there can put their thinking caps on how we can get out there and have a presence to help them to critically think as political advocates for their own lineage. You let me know at the repperspect@gmail.com, okay? Let me know. Because my daughter is at an HBCU, and what she's had to go through, my God. If they knew she had voted for Trump, she'd be totally ostracized. That's totally not cool on no level. So we've got to find a way to speak with administration to not pressure these children into voting against their own interest. But shout out to my baby girl, because she's been schooling them TRP style, asking, what are the policies? You can't just be voting for her because she's allegedly Black. My mama told me she's not Black. My baby has been holding down for the grassroots. I'm so proud of her. Y'all don't even know the questions she asked, the little TikToks and different things she sent me on the young people, talking very politically aware that they are being left out of the country their ancestors built with their lives. These kids are very astute, but they need a bipartisan perspective on those campuses as we approach elections. Now, remember, we got the generals coming up. Don't get lazy. You got to get out there, and you got to get involved, and you got to vote at least locally. All right? Let's see here. They know now their old tactics will not work moving forward to 2028. Yes, and they're going to come up with new tactics, Yaira. They don't sleep. They know good and well who's responsible for this loss. They will never give us credit, but we are responsible for this L. Okay? And so they're in the lab right now trying to figure out a way to upend us for what we've done. Bring it on, because we're leaning in. We won't be doing it on lives, but we got something for them. They done effed around and found out that we are our ancestors, the ones who fought back, okay? Hi, Somali against Pan-Africanism. I see you, fam. Let's see here. Hey, miss, why is the media trying to give Latinos credit for Trump's win? Because they don't ever want to credit us with having that much power. Now, I'm not saying that the Latinos didn't go out here and vote. I'm telling you, it's customary for their vote to be divided. This ain't new. So, they're quiet about the numbers that didn't show to the polls. That's another reason I need y'all at the polls, because I want them to see who did it and give the proper credit. But if y'all not coming out, I don't know how they count the fact that you didn't show up. I haven't found that stat yet. All of the Africans and Caribbeans on Twitter are quiet. Yeah, because they see the power and the might of those of us that are foundational to this country. The ones who were here before Columbus, the one that came on slave ships. This is what we do. They flee. We fight. And I couldn't be prouder of y'all. Of course they're quiet. I hope they packing their bags. Especially the ones who said, if Trump gets in office, I'm leaving. Get on the hell on. Celebrities and immigrants alike. Get out. Go. Bye. Yes. Prosecutor and AG, Kamala. Miss Skiwi herself. Miss Chucks and Pearls herself. Root Tracker says, I think Roly Poly is doing that. I don't know what Roly Poly is doing. Yeah, yes. I am live, Dark Child Williams. Welcome, baby. Yes, I am back because y'all came through, okay? Yaira, I see many media outlets trying to give credit to the Latinos, Arabs, or white women for his win. And it's all us. That's why I'm here to give us credit. They're lying as per usual. You can't expect the media to tell this truth. They don't ever want to admit that we were powerful enough to come together and unite and defeat them. They will never do it. So don't look to them to do it. We have to pat ourselves on the back and get to work. We were forced here in chains. They chose to come over here. Correct, Lone Wolf? Yes, they chose to migrate to a place. Why did they choose? Why did they choose to come here? Because our ancestors built it with their very lives. We were the shoes. And so why wouldn't you run to this country that's giving away our reparations, taxes, and Social Security to make you more American while genociding and ethnociding the Black American Negro freedmen and its reparations justice claim? Do you see the wizard yet? Shout out to Watson speaking. I borrowed that from her. BK, welcome to the line. Lone Wolf says, Candace Owens explained it perfectly about Kamala's ethnicity. Shout out to Candace Owens. I don't agree with you on much, sister girl, but you did that in Z formation. Okay? Y'all got to check out Candace Owens. She came with receipts. Michael Penn, Wall Street is the problem, and it is not the solution to the problem. It's not just Wall Street. It's our government. Our government, the banks, and Wall Street. They're all in bed together. They're all using and weaponizing our never-ending Holocaust to line their own pockets. Lots of money in war and in poverty. Texas is red. Well, praise God, but for a minute there, it looked like Kamala was up. Georgia has always been red, but sometimes it turns blue. Well, it's been blue with that Raphael Warnock down there running that church and walking over the homeless to get into it. Trust me when I tell you, there's a bunch of FBA Coonan Demon Rat paid shills that our vote has managed to deliver against our own interests. That's why we need to run for office in every branch of government, especially while Trump is in office, especially in red states where you got a snowball's chance. But they cry racism when we require them to speak English. Of course, but you've got a government complicit in that. Look at the way that they're able to discriminate against you getting an interview. If you don't know Spanish, you can't even interview. And when you show up and speak it as fluently as Pedro, they're still not hiring you because that's the way they discriminate against you. And where's the ACLU and the NAACP and the National Urban League on those lawsuits on our behalf? They're all complicit. We need our own as the grassroots. If you want to get involved, Gmail me at thereprospect@gmail. I'm scrolling down so I can pray y'all out. We have diminished our numbers 3 times because of abortion. Yeah, abortion is the way they kept our numbers low while crying about the birth rate in this country, while we suffer the highest rates of infant mortality and maternity deaths, women giving birth. Black women giving birth are more subject to death, no matter your income in this country. But you want to complain about the birth rate while pushing abortion down our throats that, oh, by the way, was a total grift because most states already offer the right to abort if that's what you choose to do. I say be sexually responsible and stop the madness. So in addition to abortion, they've got the LGBTQ agenda that our votes also pay for. Okay? To push these agendas to our children. I've been sharing a book on X with a pregnant man and his partner. These are the books that they need to burn. Instead, they're burning books to help our brothers in prison, and they're trying to change our American history by calling us immigrants. Michael doesn't agree with me. Trump is not funny, but he is a businessman. I think he's funny, to each his own. I think he's hella funny. Some of the things he says and does really tickles me. And through his little antics, I see his humanity. Trump is a great troller. Yes, one of the best. I think he's got a lot of young people around him. What's up, Martin Norwood? I see you, fam. Thank you for joining the live. He says, thanks. Let's see here. We all know it had to do with the Diddy trial, with all the random or not so random endorsements, allegedly. You know, we got to say that because they're just looking and itching for a reason to shadow ban me and to destroy my lives. They've been going through my archives, looking for any reason to delete my lives. Okay, so we got to say allegedly, but we know what time it is. The FQ crew is stressing out. I don't know who the FQ crew is. Thank you for holding this space, Sister Angela. You are so very welcome. Thank you guys for spending time with me. I so appreciate you. My Trees had a breakup with her partner. The grandmother tried to pay the bill on the phone, but they wouldn't accept it, and it was in Malibu. Okay, thank you, Root Trackers. I didn't know she had a breakup with her partner. To my understanding, she was at the restaurant alone celebrating her graduation, if my memory serves me, from that live Yvette hosted with her father. But I could have the details. It's been a minute. That's been since 2019 when Kamala was being exposed. But thank you for that. Yes. Rest in paradise, my trees. Power and money also equal class oppression. Yes, absolutely. We don't just have racism, we've got classism in this country. And everybody's piled on us. It's just a total pile on. We all we got. And I'm so proud of y'all on this day. Very, very proud. You understood the assignment. Her wallet and money was in her car the whole time, which they told. No one thought to search her car then. Okay, so that's what the fuss was about. I thought she had a bipolar episode. I don't know where that came from, but thank you for helping me with the facts about that. It's just tragic. Lovebird Health, thank you for joining the live. Kamala, I'm not going to do nothing just for Black people. No. Yeah. How in the world did our electorate go out and vote for her and Joe Crow, who said, if you don't vote for me, if you don't know who to vote for, me or Donald Trump, then you ain't Black. I just cannot with some of our people. Kamala also turned the Freedmen's Bureau to an all lives bureau. Thank you for that reminder, Lovebird Health. I hope I'm saying your name right. I need my glasses, really. But sorry if I botched it. You're absolutely correct. That's one of the talking points I missed out on. Kamala and Janet Yellen took the Freedman Bank Forum and they weaponized our never-ending Holocaust after the government was complicit in stealing all of our monies from that bank. They are now using the forum to enrich the banks and immigrants. So much so that Louise Pasteur in North Carolina thanked Kamala for $700,000, which got him to $1 billion in assets. And he talked about taking over North Carolina now that his bank was strong enough and liquid enough to lend to his group. You're absolutely correct. They have been doing that for 4 years, going strong. And when we showed up, our comrades showed up to participate. They wouldn't even allow us in. Only one Black American Negro freedman made it in. That was Chad Brown from CJEC and NASD. He was the only one to make it in. The rest of them got the door by no other than a Latino. But we showed them. They're all very quiet. Kamala had to leave her own dance party on Howard's lawn, no doubt, to go get herself together before she could come and give her concession speech. We laid them out. Lone Wolf said, I didn't know that about her. I'm not surprised, though. Hold on. Is this thing freezing? Kamala cooking greens in the bathtub. Who does that? No one. That's just like her talking about how she partied to Tupac's music. He was a teenager at the time. We went to Howard at the same time. Okay? Tupac wasn't old enough. We didn't know him. But she swear that's what she was doing. Just offensive. Another thing she did that I forgot to mention was she put the Black help in the book and staged her in her autobiography and tried to pass her off as if she was her grandmother. That real dark-skinned woman that she's featured in that picture with is not her grandma. Candace Owens shows who her grandma is. And Kamala looks like that grandmother, as does her dad. You got to look up Candace Owens stuff. It was powerful. Sorry, washing greens in the bathtub. Yeah, cleaning her greens in the bathtub. They are not affected. They don't care what's happening in our communities. That's why they went out and voted for her. A bunch of white women voting for abortion. abortions that they're not having. They want us to continue to abort our babies. Oh my goodness, hi Easy Axe. Oh my God, Angela, you were doing a live stream. It's been a minute. Good to see you, sweetheart. It's so good to have you here. It's good to see all of y'all. Y'all done found me. I can't believe y'all found me. I thought one person would be here tonight. I wasn't sure. I just said, let me go live. I had to celebrate us because they're not giving us credit for defeating the Democrats. We finished Dems, okay? Thank you for joining the live. That's why these female rappers are such a bad influence. Of course they are. I mean, Cardi B admitted live that she diddler a few of her Johns, drugged them, and robbed from them. She admitted on live that she screwed a football player while 8 months pregnant. And this is who you put on the stage. And this is why, we don't have any respect. And this is who you run out here and vote for, Christians. Someone pushing LGBTQ and abortions down your throats. The church is involved. Just like they were involved when Sanger came to the church to enlist their help to put these death centers in our communities, where they stand erect to this day. You don't see Planned Parenthood in the white neighborhoods. The amount of disinformation, lies, and ignorant comments on X after Trump's landslide victory is beyond belief. Say that, Caitlin. It is not to be believed. It is not to be believed. They still going. This is the only way they survive, is to drag Trump. I mean, she said Trump more than she gave anything tangible about any of it on the campaign trail. Still blaming Trump. He won the popular vote and the electoral college. He asked us to get out here and make it too big to rig, and that's what we did in droves. Shout out to everyone who cast a vote, but a special shout out to the Negro freedmen, because you all upended the demon rats and returned the missile. You did that. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. They chose Kamala, based on identity trickery and realizing they needed a strong VP. Ain't nothing strong about her, though, root trackers. Ain't nothing strong about Tampon Tim. How can you be in control of the country and then want to be the president running on change, and then sit up on The View and say there was nothing that you would have done differently? How does that work? How do you, as president of the Senate, side with Joe Crow 33 times as a tiebreaker, but you ain't got nothing to do with his policies, as he comes out talking about y'all were lock and step in on everything? I don't like being played a fool of. And that's exactly what they do. They act like we can't read and we can't critically think. That debate was rigged, as were all of them. All to go against Trump, all to triple team Trump. And you call yourself a journalist. No, you're an advocate for the demon rats. You're campaigning for the demon rats. CNN, MSDNC, ABC, and CBS. That's what you're doing. Their fact checking was very off. I love X too. I like Elon. Exactly. I like that he believes in our first and second A. Exactly. Why would we go back to a plantation? And that's what folks is crying. They spazzing out all over the social media. One girl sitting up and talking about they gonna re-enslave us. I was like, oh, could somebody go and tell her that we actually liberated you from the demon rat plantation of 75 years? Lord have mercy. This is why I got to come back. I got to continue teaching so that I can get another 10 to 20% the next time. Right. We needed to send that message. Oh, yes. You are okay. I answered this already, Michael. I'm gonna keep going. So we, in the namesake of time, pray us out. Lizzo, good to see you, love. Say goodbye to Oakland Mayor Shing Tai and DA Pamela Price. Y'all did it again up there. Praise God. I got to get more information about that. I shared a little bit of it on X. Oh, yeah. We gave them that business this election cycle. We didn't come to play. Stein wanted reparations for African migrants and all African descent from elsewhere, but here added. Oh, yeah. See, that's the problem. They want to do color-based, race-based reparations, which will never fly. That's how you know they're not serious. That's why I didn't even tune in to her. They want to flat black our reparations while never doing reparations. They're just grifting off it like they've learned to do from the demon rats to keep us sheep walking to the polls to vote for our own erasure and replacement. Yeah, that's what they do. I understand where you're coming from. I fully support cash payment reparations for Black American freedmen of chattel slavery. I know you do, fam. Thank you. 12 more seats in the House and Republicans take full control. We need them to. We need them to. Until the Democrats get some act right about themselves. Let me see. Audra Walton. Welcome to the live. The GP open borders is with the understanding that we stop meddling in their countries and causing the crisis in the first place. We want them to stay home too. Not my monkey, not my circus. Nobody checks in with me about how to spend my tax dollars destroying other countries. This country doesn't get to decide what to do with my taxes, my reparations, my Social Security, and then decide what to do with my reparations, my tax dollars, and my Social Security to my people's genocide. So I don't really give a damn how they got there, because guess what? Nobody gives a damn how we got on the bottom. I can't cry about separation at the border when our children are separated from their families ad nauseum, called the private prison industrial complex. When our kids are set up for the preschool to prison pipeline, I don't hear no tears about the genocide happening to my people. When abortion is being pushed down my people's throats while illegals birth citizens. They don't get to double dip. They don't get to create our problems and then make our vote their solution. Not anymore. We're done with that. We're done having our never-ending Holocaust being weaponized against us to genocide us, to fix the world problems that our government creates with our reparations. Done with that. I hear you, Audra. I don't care about the nuances. Please, more live streams. Okay, yes, baby. It's going to be on the weekends. I'm gearing back up because, like I said, y'all came through for me. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Yes, I am. Like, share, subscribe. It doesn't become an issue until white people are affected, from HIV/AIDS to the opioid crisis and abortion. It wasn't until their people were dying that's when they started to fix the issue. Just like the Indians, the East Indian Brahmin, Skamalas people, and the Asian community at large are now making more than white folks. That affects them. If that wasn't affecting them and they were still on top economically, they wouldn't give a damn to give the country away to illegals while genociding us. I'm glad you see it. MD Williams, I see you, fam. Welcome to the live. So, with Hispanics, they still split their vote, but just more of their vote went to Trump than usual. No, not to my understanding. It looks like 45%. I have to look up the stats. Maybe more of them were voting. I don't really know in terms of numbers. Maybe more showed to the polls. But what I'm saying is their vote is customarily split. I think it was 55% the Demon Rats and 45% for Trump, if my memory serves me. But the bottom line is, what's very new to this is the Negro freedmen weaponizing their vote. Not voting the couch. 40% of us don't show to the polls unless it's no Obama. Okay? So voting the couch is something we do. I don't believe in that. I believe in weaponizing our vote and socializing our suffering. Because when the Demon Rats have a trifecta, we're the only ones in distress. So yeah, I have to really look it up. I'm telling you what's brand new that they're not really talking about is the fact that the grassroots social mediaized the revolution and got to those polls and delivered Trump millions of votes. Okay? That's what I know for sure. So I'm giving us the credit because they won't really give us the credit. From the Ville. I don't know what that means. From the Ville. Okay. Detroit Grassroots Coalition. Thank you for joining the live. We had close to 20. We had almost 20% of the MAGA vote in California. Woo! All right now. I didn't realize it was that big of a turnout for us. Thank you for sharing, Root Trackers. Yeah, I got to get my stats together, but I know we turned it out and we're not getting enough credit. Trump promised ending birthright citizenship day one. Well, he promised a lot of things day one. And I pray that he does everything he promised. But what I do know about Trump prior to voting for him is that his first term, he got to work for his constituents. So that's what makes me believe that he's going to be about that deportation and closed border life and an end to birthright citizenship. I believe him because he did it before. So we'll see. I'm giving him a chance. Hey, he was a lesser to evil. And like I said prior, you can't get us caught up in a perpetual cycle of lesser of two evil and decide in the most important election of our day to vote the couch. When your whole line is on the line. That ain't what we doing, okay? When will we know the first 100 days of Trump? We should. Are you talking about ending birthright citizenship, Smalley? I'm not real sure what that is referencing. Yes, I need to change it back. I had to make it Republican for the midterms. Me too. Out here in California, you have to declare a party to vote in their midterms. So, yes, you have to go back to vote.org to change it back. It's easy. It's an easy fix. No worries. I hope Trump pushes for an immigration moratorium. Well, that's on us to get him to do that. We have to be at the table. If you're not at the table, you're on the menu. What will Trump do in the first 100 days in office? Any legislation to increase Black-owned businesses, etc.? I'm not really sure. I believe that now's the time to be talking to him. And I hope to speak with my comrades who've already visited with him in Mar-a-Lago to see what the plan is to continue to put pressure on him to do things for us in the first 100 days. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted of what I find out, things that I can disclose. Don't forget to look forward to 2025, 2026 and 2028, you mean? Yes. I mean. Yes. We gotta lean in. We can't let up, not even a little bit. Nope, we got them on the ropes. Remember the mother that talked to her 17-year-old daughter's teacher who was registering her to vote without her approval. It was a demon crap move. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like I said, they had all kinds of things happening with this election. They were burning ballot boxes. They were doing every manner of thing to give it to Kamala. But we showed up and out. I'm good for the blame. I blame them for doing nothing for me for my 37 years of support. Amen to that, MD Williams. Yeah, I don't mind being blamed. That stuff used to work when I was new to this. Now I'm true to it. I got very thick, tough skin. I really don't care. Anybody can get that TRP smoke. I don't care anymore. Start demanding elected officials to push for reparations at local and state levels. Well, we've done that out here, Michael, and it was in vain. I mean, they're continuing to push, and I'm very, very proud of them. But I've got to focus on other facets of making us whole. I've got to make sure that we get candidates elected at every branch of government and that somebody's starting a caucus in a party, because we're not going to make it if we don't maximize these 4 years under Trump. We're not. We got to really hit the ground running. So reparations is a long game. I did my part. I gave it 2 years of my life while Newsom ran a $96 billion surplus down to a $68 billion deficit on the pandemic and on illegals. And so, yeah, I've had enough of that. I have to move on and find other ways I can really make an impact. Like, I'm very proud of my protest voter strategy and how it went viral and it reached the right comrades, the right soldiers that took the messaging I shared about what happened to us out here. They hit the ground running to have a huge impact on a Trump victory. So, yeah, I am very, very proud of that initiative. And I've got other things I want to do. But they've got other folks fighting for that out here in California. I just feel like it's an opportunity to grift, an opportunity for Pan-Africans to take a hold of the narrative, to really line their own pockets while giving us nothing. That's what's happening out here. They're fighting with Pan-Africanist organizations who want half of the $12 million that was secured to start the Office of Freedmen Affairs out here. It's a nightmare what they're doing to sabotage with the help of anti-Black legislators. Over 5,000 illegals are starting to leave the day before the 5th. They knew. Oh, yeah, it's more like up to, I hear it's somewhere between 100 to 250,000 rushing for the borders before Trump is inaugurated. And like I said, a lot of them are being flown in by our government now. You know how they used to put them on night flights? The moneyed immigrants were on night flights. Okay? The poor ones was crossing the border. Now that the border became an issue, they decide to put them on flights too and give them a different way to get in here, into the interior. I agree with you that illegal immigrants need to be deported back to their home country. Let them go over to their countries and fight for what we fight for on a regular over here. Why should they be made American with our reparations while we die on the vine? Go fight in your own country. Since you want to wave those flags once you get here and disrespect the Negro freedmen, go home. This is our home. This is all we know. This is all we've ever known. We know where we come from here. We got generations upon generations. How many generations deep are we up in here? Since before Columbus. And those who came over on the slave ships. Rolly crying with Van. Yes, he is. Dirty laundry media. Liberal tears are sweet indeed. Yes, they are. They are wailing and gnashing their teeth. What's up, Sheena? I was watching TikTok this morning. This Nigerian man was screaming and crying. He blames Black Americans if he gets deported. Great! Give us all the credit. Because we did that. We did that. And they won't give us credit intentionally because they don't want us to believe that we made that kind of impact. But we already know. And that's why I had to go live to let you know. Thank you. Y'all did that. We are the swing for another 4 years at least. Kamala is coming back against Democrats for taking Black American freedmen voters for granted. Karma. This is a part of that karma, Michael. This is a part of that karma. Yes, it is. It's a good day. I slept so well. I really haven't had a good night's sleep in about 5 years, fighting to get us to see the era of our vote. We are doing this, and now I've got to lean in. The problem is that America lacks an official language when the Constitution was created. Oh, really? Okay. Well, the bottom line is we're not a Spanish-speaking country, and everybody should be made to speak English. We should not be made to speak another language to feed our children, to feed our families. English needs to be the official language in America. Thank you for that, Michael. I didn't realize it wasn't. By making English the official language, immigrants will think twice about coming to America. Wouldn't that be awesome instead of, making it so easy for everyone? She says, Root Tracker shares that my Treese did have some sort of mental breakdown. God, I just cannot. The horrors that we endure. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Bill Clinton are neoliberal conservatives for deregulating the economy and leaving Black Americans at the bottom in the past 30 years. Oh, yes. All complicit. All complicit. And Obama even admitted that he's really a Republican. That's what they do. Just like Trump was a demon rat and then switched to the Republicans because he knew he couldn't win as a demon rat. They were all friends before. Now he's their Hitler. You boohoo, whine, and cry after 2 assassination attempts and call him up to apologize, but he's a fascist. Why are you calling and praying for and speaking to Hitler? All lies. Ed Bloom had to sue Asians to weaponize against the Fearless Fund. Really? Oh, yeah. He used Asians, not sued them. He used Asians to weaponize against the Fearless Fund. Oh, yeah. And now the Asians are crying because they can't, their numbers are dropping as they try to get into the Ivies. Because they didn't go after the real criminals, the legacy orgs. They came after us to upend affirmative action with the help of Ed Bloom. Boomerang, okay? I understand why cash payment reparations for Black American freedmen of chattel slavery have to be lineage-based because the court will deem reparations for racism as unconstitutional because it is. And even though the Pan-Africans know this, they continue to fight for it because they'd rather fight for it and not get it than to see us have it. Because someone would have to trade places for the bottom because capitalism requires a bottom caste. I give you and your people credit for making your voices heard in this year's election. Please keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Michael. I so appreciate that. And I appreciate everyone who has commended the grassroots movement's fight and our victories along the way. This was a huge and one of the most epic of them all. Pi 180, welcome to the live. I'm going to end it on that. Let's see here. Sis Angela, do you think Kabami will try to come to California to be governor? Oh, Lord, probably so. If that happens, I'll have to definitely get up out of here. Okay. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in on X, on Facebook, and on ScrewTube. You are so appreciated. I will see you again real soon. I will see you soon. I'm going to definitely start coming back because we need education and we need to hear the way the reparationist perspective tells it, because no one tells it like I do. I've seen quite a few people. I think they're all very good, but I haven't heard my perspective, and I believe it's welcomed and it's very needed. And so, yeah, I'll be back. This may be my one and done for the week, but if I can fit in another live this Saturday, I'll be back. And with that being said, family, I'd like to pray us out that the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Why, family? Because you are the face of God, the voice of God, the body temple of the Spirit of the living God. And until next time, family, that we meet again, I want you to make it a beautiful, God-inspired rest of your evening. Welcome back. I'm back, y'all. Until then, wait for the outro, family. I'm going to share that with you right now. I'm a little rusty, y'all. I love my outro. Phil Scott said California is not for us because there are too many Asians and Hispanics weaponizing against brothers and sisters. It is time to move to Georgia, Texas, etc. You are absolutely correct, Michael. You're absolutely correct. It's time to go. But I need things set up a certain way before I actually make a move. And I've got to decide where is it going to be the best place for me to move to continue in this great work. I've got an idea, and I'm hopeful that it is that spot with one of my staunchest comrades and generals in this fight. But we shall see. We shall see. Okay, family. Let me see here. How do I do this? Why don't I remember? Hold on, y'all. Okay. Video file. Okay, I'm close to remembering, y'all. It's been a minute. Bear with your sister for the outro. It's a fire outro. I love it. And I definitely want to share it with you. I won't be so rusty the next time, okay, y'all? It's been a while. And I'll have my glasses the next time, too. I love y'all. Negro Free the Strong family. Thank you. Thank you so much.